A life lived telling a bunch of lies creates a disaster. It completely disconnects you from the authenticity of your humanness. And so pushing through the difficulty of such things, in a way, is a form of radical self-acceptance. It's a form of radical self-care. Another way I like to see it is that it shows my mind that my mind is not in charge. Because it's the mind that doesn't want to do these things, the fear that doesn't want to do these things, but all of that is protecting something that doesn't need to be protected. In a way, it's protecting my conditioned bubble of comfort, which doesn't serve me very much. Lightheartedness is difficult to reach when I'm trying so hard. Yeah, let me add to that and say that lightheartedness is difficult when I take trying hard seriously. And I say it that way because there is definitely a time and place for trying hard. And I just wrote about that this morning, where it's important that we embrace the reality of doing hard things. Because let's not get it twisted in a world of only rainbows and butterflies, and acknowledge the reality of growth. That for us to grow on this journey, we not only have to encounter what is fearful, we also encounter what is difficult. And in the same way that if you avoid what is fearful, you do not grow. And if you avoid what is difficult, you do not become stronger. And I love this as well, because it questions the assumption that thinks, I know this should be easy. I don't really know that. Now, granted, it's definitely true that it's possible to make things that are hard way harder than they need to be. But I think it's wise to acknowledge the very real and practical opportunity of growing through doing that which is difficult. And the example I used this morning in my writing was that of taking cold showers. And this morning was just a brilliant example of, I was playfully angry about getting in the cold shower. Like, I really did not want to do it. And since I moved out to the island of Crete in Greece, the cold shower is much colder than it was in Portugal. And I just really did not want to get in the cold shower. And there's this recognition that because I don't want to do it is exactly why I'm going to do it. Not only do I always find gratitude after I do, but I like the play of showing myself that I can do difficult things. Like, even if I don't want to do it, and yes, there's benefits that I feel afterwards, but even though I don't want to do it, that's not a valid excuse for not doing it. And that speaks to so much in life. Kind of like with being honest, right? There can be the same degree of difficulty. Oh, I really don't want to tell this person XYZ. But there's the benefit, numerous benefits after that come with living a life of being honest. Like, if you recognized how free you are, then you would just be honest, because that's actually the easier thing to do. A life lived telling a bunch of lies creates a disaster. It completely disconnects you from the authenticity of your humanness. And so pushing through the difficulty of such things, in a way, is a form of radical self-acceptance. It's a form of radical self-care. Another way I like to see it is that it shows my mind that my mind is not in charge. Because it's the mind that doesn't want to do these things. It's the fear that doesn't want to do these things. But all of that is protecting something that doesn't need to be protected. In a way, it's protecting my conditioned bubble of comfort, which doesn't serve me very much. And so there's the invitation to engage difficult things with a lightheartedness. You can even find a lightheartedness in your anger that doesn't want to do the difficult things. Like, it can be funny. And I know, just from my own experience, that there's a very real trap, especially in spirituality, to assume that it should be easy. And so we avoid doing difficult things while we just tell ourselves comforting spiritual stories, but we don't ever actually engage the raw reality of our human journey. There's so much opportunity for growth and expansion, but it is always going to come by way of doing something that is perceivably difficult. This is just innate in the process. It's part of the journey.